Please introduce us, the first player here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know him and you love him. He is a villain in every right, but he's also one of the most lovable pros in the scene. In the red for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, he is Dark.
His opponent in the top left side, fighting for System Gaming. It's the blue Protoss player. From Denmark, it is MAXPAX. The youngster, the trickster, the anonymous gamer that people feel quite strongly about for some reason. But hey, you know, why do we care?
Yeah,
I love his StarCraft, and that's I guess the main ticket for me to watch what he's doing anyway. Whether he has 3 noses on his frontal, you know, on the front of his head, I don't care. He has sagging eyeballs that are underneath the lips of his mouth somehow. I don't mind. I don't mind.
yeah. I mean, MAXPAX obviously is extremely skilled, and I think the mystery adds to, you know, the intrigue. You know, it's like, who is this mystery man that has come up and has performed so incredibly at times? And so we'll see how he does, though, up against Dark, because obviously this is a much different beast. This is, you know, this is a player who, even if you feel like he's down and out, you get him you're on match point, suddenly he'll come back, completely change his play style, and throw you for a loop and reverse sweep you. We've seen it happen so many times, and I mean, yeah, it's just, it's the Dark effect, really.
He just suddenly turns up that punching power all of a sudden sometimes, and it's like, oh, right, yeah, no, it is Dark that's playing right now. That's right, I forgot about that for a moment. Yeah, I felt like that a couple of times. MAXPAX here with a Twilight Council to kick things off with. Nothing crazy so far. I mean, I was thinking suddenly about Dark Templars, but I don't know if I want to see anything like that. I'm not even sure what I want to see out of MAXPAX. I'm just gonna let him do his thing here.
I think what I don't want to see is like the style where MAXPAX goes like 2 Stargates and forces the game late, because as good as he is at that late game, you're also up against Dark, who has some of the best spellcaster control, especially in scrappy positions. Like, he doesn't need to set up a fight like other players. You know, like Sarah will set up a fight perfectly and use all his spellcasters precisely as he needs. But Dark, he can just go into it. He will just start a fight, and he'll say, okay, this is what I need to do, and he'll find a way to make it work. And obviously, nice catch there on the Adept. That can be quite scary. But we are seeing Glaive Adept, so it's going to be a much more aggressive build option here.
He might just kill him straight up, actually.
Oh, he's going to drone drill. Oh, looks like MAXPAX is ready, though.
Yeah, that's very big for MAXPAX. No shield battery just quite yet, but it's about to finish up. If that Adept gets killed off before, that really mattered. The buildings are still going to be protected by the shield battery, so MAXPAX looking to be okay, and Dark very quickly going back into drones again. So this entire thing, this entire wave of Zerglings, the 20 that are still here, and the 6 that just got killed, pretty much useless.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I guess the nice part is that you do lock MAXPAX out of his own base. The natural is a full wall, but yeah, it is a bit strange, that committal. Now we are going to be looking here at 3 gate now going up to 5. So MAXPAX is, I think potentially his original plan was to be like more of a macro oriented Glaive Adept harass, but is turning this into what's going to be a much more aggressive build, 6 gate Glaive Adepts.
Yeah. I'm curious about Dark. He kind of went in, he saw 1 extra gateway being warped in, and he was like, no, okay, I know what's happening, and he moved it back. He didn't need verification about all the gateways or a Twilight Council or anything else. It's just like, no, that extra gateway. Okay, you're going for more gateways. You're probably going to try to get some aggression going here. And that is the case. The Roach Warren in production here. He's got on himself a formidable amount of Zerglings. Worker count is somewhat equal again. It's this this is not a clear-cut case just quite yet. If those Zerglings, even right now... No, okay, that's still too many Adepts for the time being.
Yeah. I mean, roaches are coming out, but yeah, this is a very interesting position. The 8 Adepts, I mean,
yeah,
with 40-something Zerglings, you can absolutely take this fight. You see Dark is willing to. Splits off half the Zerglings, but yeah, MAXPAX just canceled the Shade, and he actually just takes that fight. Great play there by MAXPAX to make sure that he wasn't fighting all of the Zerglings at once. Now he's going to do it again, and honestly, these trades going very, very well for these Adepts, especially considering that, as you said, Dark has committed so much to those Zerglings early on. It's just very, very painful, and there's the Dark Shrine.
I don't know why. We're on the same wavelength, MAXPAX and I, aren't we? Clearly. Here we go. Who knows? He might be related to me. I don't know who he is. Anyway, moving in. Getting those Adepts starting into the Roach Ball and just fighting straight up into the natural base. Finding only one drone so far, but a lot of Zerglings going down, Queens going down, and those Adepts still standing pretty sturdy. Still looking pretty healthy with a lot of the HP bars. Drones once again evacuated in time. More Adepts coming in now for the third bases. Drones are just going to have to run endlessly back and forth between bases for a little while, it seems. As Dark is desperately trying to avoid taking a massive hit onto his economy. Which already kind of is happening just because he's running them around as much as he is.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at this. 6 drones. I mean, only 6 drones go down, but you're 33 workers for Dark just because his economy was so bad. DT's come in, and there we go. Europe's first win. MAXPAX takes one off of Dark. Very interesting how potentially, like, this is going to go. Like, what kind of builds do you go for? And as I said, I don't necessarily want to see MAXPAX go for like the super late game PBZ. Obviously, he's very, very good at it, but I don't know if you can ever be like 100% confident that you can win it, because obviously the Zerg late game, if handled well, and Dark is very, very good at handling it, should win every time. It should win.
Exactly. Which is why it's scary that he's doing all these incredibly gambit-y plays, right? The circling aggression there, like we saw, it's just one pylon in the wall, and it's suddenly like, well, I guess this doesn't work anymore. That's a shame. And you're so far behind. But, yeah, we'll see. Dark has been making some comments about, you know, sometimes finding it difficult as well to really put in the hours of practice that he feels like are necessary to maintain the level of play that he has found himself at. And sometimes after those types of periods, right, we do see players get maybe a bit more cheesy, maybe a bit more gambly with their play, trying to just throw off the opponents and, you know, kind of band-aid solution your how you're feeling about your overall macro play in the later game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see though. Altitude, as we said, this is a really big map. It's very wide open. There's a lot of space here to take fights, and so, you know, something like Sky Toss might not necessarily be that bad, although of course you'd have to worry about the potential threat of Spore Crawler forests getting really big and the Zerg being able to push those forward, especially with very few choke points. So yeah, we'll have to see. Twilight Council's on the way though. Dark this game does not look like he's going to swell 20 Lings for no reason and try and run them across the map to catch his opponent off guard. Looks like it's going to be a pretty standard opening. With his natural hatchery was forced to the third base location, but other than that, I mean, I guess even including that, everything is pretty standard.
This was something, there's a question in the chat about what happened to Dark. Why does he have no time to practice? It's not as much, I believe, as just not having enough time. Maybe it's a part of it as well, but just motivation is what I'm assuming, right? It's a game you've been playing for how many years now? At what level? And how many hours a day do you have to play it, right? That is a huge committal, and people can say like, man, what are you complaining about? You get to play video games all day, but like ultimately, you know, that it's only so far how deep it can take you to a sense. And if you're already at the highest level, right, it's hard to find any improvements and new kind of right, because if you're trying to improve a skill, the most motivating things are when you're seeing improvements in your play, right? Winning tournaments also really helps, I suppose, but Yeah, it's just so hard to find those final sub-0 percentages that you might be able to increase your play with at this level. It can become very tedious.
It looks like
that's
we're...
kind of what he was saying. Like, he himself felt like he didn't have enough, or didn't put in enough time like that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it looks like we're seeing MAXPAX run what he initially wanted to do in that first game, which was the lighter adept aggression, just off of the 4 gateways, so not going up to 6. Still glaive adepts, but this time it's with a third base. We've seen a lot of players experiment with not... the idea that, yeah, you could still actually go glaive adepts. You don't need to commit to an all-in, because they're actually really good at harassing with that additional attack speed. It makes it that much harder for the Zerg, because they have to respond so much quicker before that damage starts to ramp up.
It's similar as how we see the Terrans approach this right now, right? They send in that, like, for example, the Reaper call that we saw. You send in these units, you just try to trade efficiently. You force the Zerg not to make drones, mostly. And it's just a rough position for them to really make those decisions all of a sudden. Like, do I continue making drones? Is this going to be committed? How many units do I need? If they get it wrong, they could lose an entire mineral line. If they get it wrong, they could not have an entire mineral line because they made too many army units.
Yeah.
So yeah, the more times you allow the Zerg to kind of make those types of mistakes, right? The more often you force the Zerg to make considerations like that, the better it's going to be for those types of players. If you then effectively, let's see if he manages.
I love this. Yeah, I mean, this is just Dark doing Dark things. MAXPAX went for the macro glaives, and Dark cut workers at 37. It didn't even get workers onto his third base. Was waiting to see if we would look at it, but yeah, I mean, this is just brutal right now as Dark is pushing on in this third base. Of course, even if it doesn't go up, it was actually still, I think, perfectly fine as, depower on the shield battery. MAXPAX needs to get it back up. Pylon just pop up. It's 2 adepts here that are trying to fight against the world. They have the glaives. That does not seem like it's enough, but the Dark Templar being warped in. 4 of them gonna try and swing this, and if they can, I mean, MAXPAX is still up. He's still up in workers, 47 to 37. He just needs to survive, and it looks like the DTs are gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, the Banelings might have a little bit of an answer here indirectly to the Dark Templars. Dark still definitely needs to take out this Nexus. I don't think he will fail at that.
Banelings are gone.
Oh dear. No more Banelings? Do you really want to invest more Banelings into this Nexus? There we go.
Oh, we got them.
Templars. 3
yeah,
more
so
in.
hard.
Yeah,
so hard for MAXPAX.
Oh. Could have been another 3 Dark Templars going down. Dark Templars across the map also. Finding some damage. The Spore Crawler being targeted down. There's no... there is a lair, so Dark is making an Overseer as well. Really limited on the amount of time he has with these Dark Templar. 2 more arriving at the third base.
Yeah, DT does finally get trapped there, but already so much damage getting done here for MAXPAX. And again, he has to replant that third. That's really, I think, the part that really hurts him here. Had that Nexus stayed up, he'd be in a great position. But now all Dark needs to do is macro up, eventually get his worker count to a comfortable enough position that he's able to, I mean, knowing Dark, find a follow-up push with his roaches. But so far, it's been... Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's the Dark. He just, constant aggression. He's going to try and catch you out, and this time manages to make it work. He's got himself a lead. Will he be able to completely capitalize on it? We'll have to see, though.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a little bit difficult after the initial punch of that force got slightly deafened, then, blunted. It was hard for Dark to kind of keep the reinforcements coming just because he didn't have a really great economy behind this, right? He sacrificed it to get that first initial punch going. So, yeah, the Dark Templars really, really helping out there, just blunting it. And slowly but surely, MAXPAX being able to just kind of hang in there. But like you said, was that enough? Was that enough?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Dark has decided that about 54 workers is where he wants to sit at. So, nice trap there on the Dark Templar. But constant Roach production now, and mind you, behind this, MAXPAX thinks that, and I think rightfully so, MAXPAX assumes that Dark is going into a macro game because, hey, you killed my third. Why would you not just take some bases, you know, expand, get up a massive economy, and then compound your lead? But no, Dark is just preparing for another massive attack here with these Roaches, and I think he's now going to pull the trigger as they're going to go across the map. They have speed. No attack upgrades for either players, but he should be able to at least cancel his fourth.
24 Roaches together with about 30 Lings. About to run into 15 Stalkers. 2 Sentries there. Might be able to allow the Force Fields to do some magic, but only 1 Ravager. Is there hope? 2 Shield Batteries. They are about to be targeted down as quickly as you can say the World Shield Battery, perhaps. The Ravagers are gone. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay.
Star count is quite high. Good cancel there on the Nexus means that MAXPAX is not going to lose altogether that much money. Good Force Fields here, catch out a few Roaches. And Dark, he's got 160 supply, but that's a Roach Ravager. That's very deceiving. Now, if he can get these Zerglings on top of the Stalkers, that's another story. We'll be able to do so, but it looks like there's just enough that Dark is actually really struggling to find damage, but he's got into the natural. And now he's going to see if he can hemorrhage a lot of this supply away from MAXPAX. He's continuing to rally units across the map. Needs to be careful, though, that he doesn't just rally them into the Stalker's waiting grasp. Instead, now going to head up towards the main, find more and more worker kills. 17 probes going down, but I still think he might need a little bit more to really make this worthwhile, because, again, his economy is very, very low behind this.
Yeah, he is finding so much damage. MAXPAX is using every trick in the book, putting Dark Templars in those choke points, and the Roaches are just running into them for a while, and it just didn't seem to be enough. Regardless, that supply here for Dark, not just ahead on the workers, but our military supply also pretty similar for the time being. Now, MAXPAX, his army with the still Sentry, still is very big, still has a bit of energy there to make something happen. He's going to have himself 1 or 2 Archons. I think he's going to go for the 2 Archons. I'm not sure where that other Dark Templar is. This is a big push here for MAXPAX. He needs to get probably a base killed. Or really efficient trading.
The Blink Stalkers, of course, they're good with the +1, and they can trade very efficiently here against this Roach Ravager. There's just so much here for Dark. Now he has the worker advantage as well, so his economy is stronger. It just makes it so hard to push up this ramp here for MAXPAX.
Yeah. Even with the vision of the Whoppers in there kind of helping out a little bit, it's so tough to walk into that choke point. It's Dark Templar pulling away some of the attention of Dark into his expansion, but quickly pulls away the drones. As Dark manages to snipe most of those sentries, if not all of them as well as a observer from the sky. Maybe a little bit fortunate there, but lucky strike. It's gonna do damage. This could do damage. There's Queens on the way, but those Zealots, they are quite numerous.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great warp and it's a great drop here into the main base. The Queens, they're trying to fight this, but Queens against an Archon Zealots are not good. Roaches have to be brought on over. MAXPAX, he's trying to make this work. I mean, he's essentially all in at this point. The probe production has not been significant for MAXPAX for a long time now. Only gets 4 drones, though, and it just feels like this is...
Disruptors.
I mean, there were chances. Yeah.
That's the state of the game right now. It's like, okay, time for Disruptors. Get them in here. We need them now. We need something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... Now the Zerg economy kicks in. 64 workers. Some Overlords going down here is nice. He's going to supply block Dark actually for quite a while. As the Roach Ravager does just walk forward. Is going to try and chase down these Stalkers. There's just so much available here for Dark. And he's actually getting Burrow, Tunneling Claws, +1. It's a very clear idea of how he wants this to go, but as you said, the Disruptors. And, you know, maybe they are what MAXPAX needs to get back into this game. We've seen them do magic before. Blink Stalkers and Disruptors. You can pull games back from the brink of defeat with these units. I think that's really what MAXPAX is betting on right now.
Man, I love how brave MAXPAX is being as well with just his units. He's got DTs coming in from the left, the right, as he's micro-ring the main army as well. It's Dark he's playing against, but he's just pulling all the punches that he can find. Or well, not put, how do you say this? He's throwing every punch he can find. He's not slowing down. He's not trying to be extra careful. You know, it doesn't look like he's gotten in his head about like, oh, well, it's Dark. He's probably going to be ready for this. No, he's still making all the moves that he can. And Dark seemingly is pretty good at defending against him, but it does seem to be pretty close as well. Here and there, he does start losing some drones. And, yeah, well,
I mean,
has he done a good enough job?
What's really interesting here is that MAXPAX already has +2. Dark is only just now getting his +1. And +3 is already on the way for the Protoss. Plus, Dark has fallen into this trap, and this happens a lot actually with Dark, where he falls into a trap of just non-stop producing Roaches and Ravagers when he needs to be macroing up. And he's only at 61 workers, which means that MAXPAX is caught back up. It's a massive army supply, but again, you have Disruptors out. You have these Blink Stalkers as, oh my god, Dark. Oh, Dark. Oh, MAXPAX doesn't know the blink away, though. It's just in time.
Yeah, this Disruptor's moved backwards. I think he kind of figured it out there. Can't quite get a disruptive shot to hit those Roaches, though, however, and that would be a big move here. It's going to be a while for them to unburrow. Doesn't hit. No, those Disruptors are going to just down. Man, that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, felt like a little bit sloppy there, almost, you know? It's like, yeah. Stalkers were there as well, but...
I think for both players, this has been a bit of a slugfest. Yep. It hasn't been the cleanest. Neither player just sat back and said, all right, I'm going to macro up and you macro up and we respect each other. No, this has been blow for blow. It's been messy. It's been slugfest. I mean, look at it. 58 workers for Dark is so low considering everything that's happened this game, but he has 148 supply of Roaches, and now moving forward, he can try and snipe the Disruptors, but the shots are good. And now you have +2 Blink Stalkers. And I don't think that Dark can actually push this. Like, MAXPAX's army is just better.
He's finding cannons and shield battery overcharge with the Roaches that he's trying to harass with. And yeah, MAXPAX, he seems okay for the time being. And Dark hasn't quite, you know, like you said, macroed up. He's still on full bases as well. He's starting to get a 5th base now, but look at the production time. That's not that far along, and those Stalkers could be on a trajectory to move that way. Looks like Dark is trying to lure those Stalkers towards the right side instead, so they won't have vision in that base, but I mean, there's definitely an opportunity here for him to just deny that 5th base.
Yeah, I mean, the Disruptors just make this so hard for Dark. His units they're so clunky, they're so big, and they can just get caught so easily, and now MAXPAX is evening out the supply. And when you're at even supply and you're fighting with Roach Ravager, that's never a good sign, because this Roach Ravager, it's extremely supply intensive. It's 2 supply for a Roach, 3 for a Ravager, and so it is really an inflated number. I mean, there's a nice catch here in the middle of the map, and I mean, Dark's just he's just going for 2. Yeah, he's just going for 2 counterattacks. MAXPAX is out on the map, but I mean, Dark, I'm worried if he loses this army, if he loses everything here, what is there left? But he's gonna get a base, it looks like.
The whole map is on fire, Titan. Everywhere we go, we see units fighting each other. How are they keeping track of all of this?
Yeah, MAXPAX counterattack as well. Oh, Stalker's gonna get out across the map. Dark evacuates most of his units. MAXPAX, I mean, he didn't really find a lot of damage here with his counterattack, but now he has +3. And so these Stalkers, they will just fight so much better if he's able to catch Dark out of position, and those Roaches will just pop. MAXPAX was, I mean, he was incredibly out of position at the start of that, but, I mean, somehow makes a decent situation of it as this cannon is going to go down. 17 probes have fallen, which has done, I mean, really only evened out the worker count.
Yeah, it's a very weird, peculiar game here. As long as those Disruptors are still on the field, I feel like MAXPAX is a very solid shot here. And I believe what you mentioned about just sticking to the Roaches and the Ravagers, if he had a couple of Vipers, right? Just a couple of Vipers, just to abduct those Disruptors each and every time. I mean, I think this game would have been over already. But instead, now the supply is kind of teetering around back and forth. And sometimes suddenly MAXPAX feeling like he might still have a bit of a shot here.
Oh, it's so hard, though. This base is going to have to be canceled again. Disruptor shots are good, though. Actually, yeah, it cleans up all of them. But it's 130 supply to 170. Once again, Dark pulling out in that supply lead using this Roach Ravager as well as he can. If he gets this base as well.
Yep.
actually some really big losses here for MAXPAX.
Spaces are falling, but at least he's being able to chase down some of this Roach army. Dark's army supply just going back up there. Although it is just only Roaches and Ravages still. He has nothing else tech-wise. It's almost been 20 minutes. And he's still on this tech. And look at this. There's... How many is that? 5, 6 Disruptors running in? 6 Disruptors! This could kill him if he's not careful.
Oh, and the +3.
Disruptor shots. That is already 2 good ones right there. Could just win the game here, perhaps. Or MAXPAX if Dark's not careful. Oh my goodness.
Oh
Dark.
my.
GG. That's it. That's it. GG.
Yeah, that, I mean, it's just the army efficiency, the +3 Stalkers, the Disruptors, Dark staying on Roach, Ravager. I mean, it's classic Dark. All right, top right-hand corner. He is down 0-2. Needs to make the comeback, but he's done it before. Let's see if he can do it again. From Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Dark.
And his opponent's up 2 games right now. Is it gonna happen again? It's a Blue Protoss player fighting for Storm Gaming. It is MAXPAX. You know what? If anyone has to kick out Dark out of a tournament, I'm glad it's this kid. I'm always so excited to see him play.
Yeah.
An ever so friendly fella as well.
Absolutely. And we're on to Royal Blood. We've already seen a good mixture of games on this map. We've seen macro, we've seen incredibly quick. And so I wonder what kind of flavor we are going to get today. And I mean, I wonder if we're just going to get the full sweep, you know, 12-0 on the day.
That was crazy.
It would be, yeah, it would be quite impressive. And I mean, if MAXPAX manages to actually do so, that also means we have a TVT and a PvP in the semifinals and a guaranteed TVP in the finals.
Royal Blood, a fitting map for MAXPAX. That's true, actually. Does kind of have that setting right now, like he's killing royalty in a sense. If he gets this 3-0.
Have you not heard the
Oh, Dark?
I would say
Dark.
the memes. Oh.
Dark.
What?
Dark. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm worried. I'm already worried.
Oh.
I hate to highlight those types of little tiny things, but you know, it's a bad feeling as a player, right? That pit in your stomach you feel when you see workers not working. It's oh my goodness,
yeah.
You're just like, oh, why? Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah, it's, well, you know, it's, I would say the kind of the hallmark of this series is most certainly scrappy. I'm not gonna say sloppy, because obviously when you're in such crazy games, there's a lot of stuff that you can forget or you don't do quite right. But it has been scrappy. There's been some mistakes on both sides, but all in all, it has been MAXPAX who's coming out on top.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been 3-0 the entire day. Do we really want something else now? Or do we just want to be able to say that everything went 3-0? It's just how great these players are when we're at the semifinals and the finals, right? Because that's usually the thing. If the qualification things don't go that great or the games are very one-sided, although they really haven't been. The schools make it seem like they were, but a lot of very, very close games still. Usually the semi-finals and finals, I think we're going to be up for quite a couple of series there tomorrow.
Well, Clay the Depths again here. We'll see which variation this is. I mean, it's Royal Blood. It's a short rush distance. So we might end up seeing it once again, that 6-gate Glaive to Depths. I mean, obviously, yeah, there we go. More gateways being added on. Obviously, though, Dark has a Roach Warren already, so he's going to be more prepared than he was before. But I don't know if Dark is going to expect this build, 3 times.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't for sure, but hey, well, he does have that Roach Worm coming up. Let's see, he's still on 33 workers. He's going to go up to 39, which is still acceptable. It's manageable. We're going to have to stop him Yeah, okay, there's the roaches now. I think he has the tools, right? It looks like he will have the tools, unless if he starts going back into drone production all of a sudden from this point. He should have the tools. Does he have the positioning with those tools, though? That's the next question here. So those adepts, they can be very gruesome with shading here, of course. As we've all witnessed, anyone that's played StarCraft 2. Oh. Okay,
nice scout there with the adept shades. Yeah, split them up, actually. Managed to get some good information. It looks like MAXPAX might end up... I don't know. We're gonna have to look for this third base time, because right now you have the 6th gate. Warp Prism is on its way. There's no roaches actually out on the map, which is kind of worrying. They've all been morphed into Ravagers, and honestly, Ravagers, while they have the extended range, yes, and they can kite these adepts. If you get on top of them, they are light. They will get shredded pretty quickly, and so that makes it quite worrying here. The Adept's just doing a dance, though, on the edge of the creep. MAXPAX not committing in just yet.
I wonder why he tried to run those Zerglings very far in front of the Shades. It's almost as if he wanted those Shades to commit there. But I'm not even sure if he would want those Shades to be on the ramp in particular, right? Because it's just an awful place to take a fight. Let's see, the Adept's now.
Here we go.
Another one of those choke points. That's not where the Zerglings like to be.
Oh, those splits are good. But the Ravager's still firing away. One has gone down. 7 roaches now on the way in production. 2 are out. MAXPAX, what do you got? Is he going to complete it? Yes, he does, but the Zerglings are here.
Ooh, he's spread out.
MAXPAX.
He's nice clumped up. Zerglings get a bit of extra poke damage, as the Zerglings will be able to start whittling them down. The Queens together with the roaches manage to deal with the rest. Even a Spine Crawler there waiting. More Adepts in the 3rd base, but they're not finding much either. I think Dark is going to survive this. But, I mean, looking at the work account, he's still taking quite a beating. Although, be it, MAXPAX, where is his transition going to take us to? He's already halfway with it. Robotics Bay here. Very quick position there from him. It's nice to see.
The crazy part is here that MAXPAX really didn't even find any damage. I mean, this has been, I think, on almost all measures, a loss for MAXPAX.
Yeah.
However, he forced Dark to cut drones so early that it's not his. I mean, it's still bad. Like, giving this many adepts, obviously it doesn't feel good. The 3rd Nexus is super delayed, and obviously Dark can just macro up from here on out. But it's not game ending just because Dark was on such a low worker count.
Yeah, MAXPAX did manage to have more income during that time period, right? So perhaps that little boosted economy right now is going to allow him to get that 3rd base going. We're looking at some more devious strategies coming out of MAXPAX with a drop Warp Prism, 2 disruptors there. We see the speed for the Warp Prism coming along. We know what that means. And so far, Dark has been struggling a little bit against those disruptors. So, I mean, when they're going to be coming in from surprise Warp Prism from places that you don't expect them to, it might be even worse.
Yeah, I mean, MAXPAX, he knows that he needs to do something here to make sure that Dark can't just, you know, again, macro up on 3 bases, mass roaches across the map and kill them. So he needs to get a little bit aggressive. He needs to still try and find some damage. It's not, you know, even though he didn't lose, he still is not in the best position.
He needs to keep tabs on Dark, right? That's the, if Dark is making that big counterattack like you were saying, he needs to know about it. If Dark is trying to macro up as much as possible, MAXPAX needs to know about it. So yeah, the Warp Prism here, not just providing the harassment, but also information about that.
Yes, MAXPAX continuing to poke around. Dark, I mean, hasn't taken a 4th base just yet. He's working on +1 melee, centrifugal hooks, and glial reconstitution, so he's gonna get speed for the banelings and roaches. But I mean, at this time, it looks like MAXPAX, he's just gonna probably do a 3 base. I mean, I imagine this would be a 3 base, essentially an all-in. He's fully saturating his 3rd. I wouldn't be surprised if he cuts workers, because he's going for +1 blink stalker. There's this fight being taken so far.
Shades going in. Where in the world did those Shades go to? There's not a lot of drones there, but a lot of roaches and Ravagers still ready to pounce. More units. There's we go. Disruptor shot onto the mineral line. Only 2 drones, it looks like, from that. Or maybe 3. 6 in total. keeping Dark on his toes, you know, keeping him making units rather than drones. And, well, Dark is still expanding. It seems to be getting relatively close now, these expansions coming up. And he's still busy on his side of the map dealing with this War Prism. There's no way these roaches are going to move across now, is there?
Now one more kill. But I mean, +1 blank stalkers with disruptors. MAXPAX, he is actually taking the 4th behind it, so he's not going to commit all in with this pressure. He's not going to try and kill Dark with it, but he's just going to try and push this into an advantageous position. And I think he absolutely can. I mean, Dark's upgrades are going to be pretty scary. You know, +2 melee, +1 ranged versus the +2 ground weapons of MAXPAX, but his army will just fight better. The disruptors are super efficient. The stalkers here, with their blink and their additional damage versus armored, fight so well against these roaches and ravagers. So for Dark, this is actually a pretty scary position he needs to hold here. I mean, this 4th base, if this goes down, it's disastrous for him. This disruptor shot, not going to find any connections.
2 adepts only on that side. I thought that might be another War Prism or something, but
no, MAXPAX.
Picks those up.
Oh my.
All right, only loses 1.
Oh, I almost had almost a heart attack there as MAXPAX leaves behind disruptors, but gets 5 drones there with the adepts. He's going to keep pushing here. Again, I mean, still is in a great position. And the supply of Dark, it's not that high. I mean, 175 of Roach Ravager. It's, I don't know, this is scary, but look at Dark. He's just going for the counterattack. He doesn't care. He's just going to try and swing it across the map, and I think he might have to give up his 4th.
He is coming in right now, yeah. Just anything he can muster across here. We'll leave that base. The drones will be able to evacuate here, so that's pretty nice for Dark. If he does manage to get another base going, he will have those units to just immediately get it saturated. And this response
I think this gets cleaned up
there as well. 11 probes doesn't seem like very much, but just getting MAXPAX off of his back for a while might be, you know, really what he wanted there, but was it enough? I mean, he's just going to return now, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you lose the 4th base. You didn't really find significant economic damage against your opponent. Now Charge is on the way. MAXPAX is going to push this across the map. He's even supplied with the Zerg, who's going Roach Ravagers. I mean, this just looks like MAXPAX is playing really incredibly, and Dark is struggling to find an answer. He's tried with these Roaches and Ravagers 3 times now, and it just has not worked as MAXPAX continuing to push, continuing to take these trades. Blink back. A lot of these stalkers are very low, but they have not died.
Right, a whole bunch of Ravagers here trying to hold off the choke points. Just blanket this area with a massive range of piles each and every time those stalkers try to move forwards. But now it looks like he's run dry with the blankets, and now a few more coming in. MAXPAX nicely blinking away just in time. Shaved off with some of those units now and again. Small Zerglings are coming in. Those Zerglings very valuable here. They can be quite nice for mostly stalkers that are fighting against. Oh dear.
Yeah, the supply is getting a bit out of hand. These 2 disruptors, they've been doing so much work to zone out this army. Now the Zerglings are trying to stream on in. But MAXPAX just continues to kite it back, continues to blink back small chunks of the stalkers. And the Biles, they just never land when they need to. They never connect. 6 drones have gone down. 2 adepts just slide into the 3rd base. And now, honestly, MAXPAX could just blink forward onto those Ravagers.
Pretty much, yeah. It looks like it's a day of 3-0s. It's what can we do? What can we say? It is what it is. Unless if Dark just pulls 3 rabbits out of a hat right now, I'm not sure how this is going to go his way.
Yeah, the Ravagers are trying their best, but when they're alone, when they don't have the Zerglings and the Roaches to frontline, it's so hard. And now MAXPAX, I mean, he's at 5 bases. Roach or Lens didn't get into his bases, but just single adepts warped in have been mostly able to clean that up. Dark trying to do whatever he can, but it just does not feel like enough as the 4th base has gone down. The Stalkers are continuing to trade out with their +2. And Dark's better upgrades, it just does not feel like they matter because his unit composition is just so inefficient.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not working this way. and he is trying to hold on desperately, hoping to find massive connections with those Ravager Biles, but MAXPAX just doing other things. He's not taking any risks with his Stalkers while he's looking away. You can see every time those Stalkers are engaged, they are being controlled to the maximum. And, well, I mean, there's not even creep between the second and the third base. That's how busy Dark has been here, alright? Just trying to hold on. My goodness.
I mean, this... Oh my god.
Yeah,
Disruptor
that's
shot
because
gets
there's
3.
no creep. That's, yeah. You just can't even run away from the disruptor shots because he's standing there over creep. So he realizes now, and he's trying to make his stand more so on creep, but this gives MAXPAX the choice of which area to push into. And, yeah.
The Disruptor's going to obviously just continue to zone away these Ravagers. Dark can never really commit on in. A nice dodge there, but it just doesn't matter. This army supply is just completely in favor of MAXPAX. One more shot is going to land, a second as well. The supply drops MAXPAX 3-0 against Dark.